Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we have some more positive news recently released around Tesla stock. And so with this video today, we have one major news piece, and then also just like a little bit of a bonus news piece that I want to talk about as well, that isn't directly related to Tesla, but it is related to Elon Musk, and it's all about SpaceX's Starlink project. And this is pretty huge as well, because it basically confirms that in the future, we will have another company headed by Elon Musk to invest in, possibly, with pretty much a confirmation of a Starlink IPO. So we'll address that tweet, and also I'll give my thoughts on that. But I just want to start out this video discussing the Tesla Gigafactory in Austin, Texas. But before we get into that, I just want to address the current share price for Tesla. And of course, as always, if you enjoy these Tesla videos, please make sure to smash that like button. It really does help me out. But just addressing the current share price for Tesla, the aftermarket hours have closed. It's a little bit after 9 p.m. right now for me, and we are at $418.20 per share. And for the normal market hours, we got a minus 0.51% drop, and that is minus $2.13 off of the share price. And then for the after hours currently, only a minus 0.21% drop, which is around 87 cents taken off of the share price. So nothing really significant in after hours, pretty much what you would expect as usual, not any huge movements. So now that we've addressed that, I want to get into this news piece today, which is all about a recent land purchase for the Tesla Gigafactory. So in this video, we're talking about an expansion on the already purchased land that they're building on right now. And you can actually watch the drone footage on YouTube of the everyday progress for the construction of the Austin, Texas Gigafactory. Jeff Roberts, I think that's his YouTube channel. He has some really good videos with drone footage and things like that. So this is really huge news, but I want to go ahead and check out this article and show you all this information that was recently released. Now, this was a few days ago, so some of you probably already know about this news, but if you do know about it, this is an article that actually provides a lot more information and context than some of the other articles that I found out there. So you might actually learn something new with today's video, because they do go pretty in-depth on this land purchase. So anyways, I'll go ahead and check out this article, and then we'll expand on it a little bit further as we get into it. So this is an article by Statesman News Network and author Shonda Novak. So of course, as always, we greatly appreciate this information, but this article is titled Tesla Adding to Land Holdings for Austin Factory. So this is all about the most recent purchase of some additional acres on top of the already purchased land site that is intended for the Gigafactory for Tesla. So of course, as always, I want you all to be able to check out this article for yourself, and we're going to just be discussing some of the key points from this article, and also I will be linking it down in the description below so you all can check it out. I definitely recommend giving this one a read, because it does provide a lot of in-depth information about this news, and not just like your typical gloss over of information. This is actually pretty in-depth. But as it starts out here, it states Tesla recently purchased 381 acres adjacent to its existing 2,100 acre site at Harold Green Road in Texas 130 deed records show. So just to do some basic math here, 381 divided by 2,100, that basically means that this is an 18% increase on the total land holdings for this Austin, Texas Gigafactory for Tesla. So we've seen an 18% increase in the total land holdings, which results in a total of 2,481 acres that Tesla currently owns in terms of this land plot. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. We're talking about an 18% increase in land size for Tesla to utilize. And as we all know, Tesla does a fantastic job when it comes to efficiency and optimization. So you can already go ahead and bet that Tesla is utilizing this additional 381 acres to its fullest extent. I mean, we're talking about a CEO of a company that also has another company that is focused on basically disrupting the whole transportation industry, in which he has talked about how they want to build more tunnels and actually have 3D transportation for road vehicles, kind of like how we have 3D workplaces with buildings and things like that. So this is someone that definitely takes every factor into consideration when it comes to utilizing space. And I think this will apply when it comes to Tesla in this Gigafactory as well, with this additional 381 acres. And I think that a lot of us already are coming up with some ideas on what this site could be used for. One of the major ones that comes to mind is, of course, maybe a battery production facility. As we know, Tesla's supposed to start producing its own battery cells at a mass production scale at around the time of 2022, 2023. And obviously, it would just make sense at this point point for them to have a battery cell production facility near the actual Gigafactory, and especially the Texas Gigafactory, which is one that is supposed to have a lot of the newer Tesla models, such as the Tesla Cybertruck, the Tesla Semi, and Model Y, and things like that. So this is definitely a location that would truly benefit from having a battery cell production facility beside it as well. But one more thing that I thought was really interesting from this article, just as a side note to mention, it states Martin Marietta, one of the nation's largest suppliers of building materials, operates a concrete plant on the property and will supply concrete for Tesla's assembly factory. Martin Marietta's plant will be relocated elsewhere on the site to make way for Tesla's factory. And this right here isn't really new news or anything. This is something that a lot of us knew beforehand, but this is just one of those additional examples that emphasizes the efficiency of Tesla. So as it states, they purchased a property that already had a concrete operation plant going on. And so they basically just said, you know what, we'll do some business with you. Maybe that even factored into the land purchase deal, but even aside from that, they basically optimized this the most they could and said, you know what, since you're already here, we'll go ahead and utilize you to create our facility. You guys can help us out. We'll pay you for it and things like that. So once again, just utilizing any resources available, and specifically in this scenario, it worked out pretty well for Tesla. Moving further into this article and more specifically focusing on this additional land acquisition, it states that local developer Carl Coble, a principal with Marketplace Real Estate Group, said Tesla's newly purchased 381 acres, which are along Gilbert Road and just northeast of its 2,100 acre site, give Tesla not only more land, but additional access to its property, since Gilbert Road intersects with FM 969. And a direct quote from Coble states, being able to tie into 969 gives them multiple points of access, and it says, to primary roads, which along with 969 include Harold Green Road and Texas 130 Frontage Road. And it says Coble said that Austin area developers have taken to calling Texas 130 the new tech corridor in Austin. The toll road offers access to San Antonio, which has a robust tech presence in the military space. And we even get some perspective shared from Daniel Ives from Wedbush as well. If you all have seen some past news videos on my channel, you've likely heard about Daniel Ives from Wedbush, in which we've talked about some price target upgrades. And I have to admit, Daniel Ives is one person that seems to understand Tesla and understand a lot of the advantages that it has as an EV automaker, and also simply as a company that basically consists of many tech startups that can pretty much do anything it wants to do. Of course, we already know that Tesla is not just an EV company, it's a tech company, it's a battery company, it's anything that it wants to be, honestly. And so this is a quote from Daniel Ives that states, I see ultimately them making this much more than a typical factory. It's not just about the vehicle factory. And there's also the reference of Ives talking about how Tesla could take advantage of Austin's engineering talent. And of course, with that, there's a lot of speculation around the idea of a battery cell production facility, which would honestly make sense at this point, like I said. And according to this article, it says Jill Rowe, who is a commercial real estate broker in Central Texas, who is not involved in the project, said, quote, we can expect more announcements from Tesla, both from real estate and plant expansion. So that's basically the end of the article right there. As I said, I'll leave it linked down in the description below for you all to check out for yourself. And I did skip a few things where it kind of went into some in-depth discussion on just the Gigafactory in Austin itself, and not so much just regarding the additional land plot purchase. So I kind of wanted to avoid that topic since this video is all about the news piece for this most recent land acquisition adjacent to the Gigafactory plot of land. However, it did state that this Gigafactory itself would actually provide a lot of unskilled labor jobs for people where it didn't require a college education degree or anything like that. And I have to admit, I'm really a big fan of that, because honestly, yes, I understand that college is good for a lot of people that know exactly what they want to do, and of course need to hone their skills and build up their profession and things like that. However, I also feel like a lot of people feel the need of being forced into college, maybe when they don't know what they want to do yet, or maybe if they have a passion that is outside what a college degree would be required for. So I have to admit, I like to see jobs available for people that don't require a college degree. Of course, there's some other high-skill jobs as well that this Gigafactory will absolutely provide with the engineering talent and things like that. We all know that Tesla and SpaceX are like the most sought-after employment places for engineers, so it's of course going to have a lot of engineering talent as well, but I have to admit, it's nice to see a wide variety of opportunities being provided. But even aside from all of that, and just addressing this most recent land acquisition, this is huge in the sense that, like I said, it's an 18% expansion expansion increase. And if someone were to ask me, what do I actually think this plot of land could be used for? I think one of the major options that Tesla is most likely considering is a battery cell production facility. Especially after Battery Day, we understand that they're going to need some space to actually produce these battery cells at a massive volume. And so we all expect this Gigafactory to be taking up a lot of space in itself already. So I think this gives them room for expansions in the future. For example, if they want to expand even further on, like how they're kind of doing with the Fremont factory, where they're even having these outside sections of the factory right now. So this basically gives them some additional space in which they otherwise may have used this land already purchased in the past for the battery production facility. But now with this additional land, not only does it give them an access route to the factory, but it also gives them more space if they decide that they want to expand the original Gigafactory, because now there's basically a reserved space for them to have a battery production facility with this new land acquisition. So it gives them more options in my opinion. And of course, if you see tremendous expansion for the future of your company, at this point it makes a little bit more sense to just have more land access. If you do have the option to actually purchase more around what you already own, then like I said, it's really more positive benefits than negative ones, just because it gives them more options. And if they actually want to have their own battery production facility on site, then it just makes sense to have this additional plot of land. And then it also gives them some more potential room of just the Austin Gigafactory in the future if they decide to do so. So basically it just gives them more options, and I think this is likely going to be used for a battery cell production facility. Some people have been discussing as possibly a test drive track for Teslas, but I feel like, knowing Elon Musk and just the company's motto with efficiency and optimization, I think they would utilize that in a much better way than just as a test drive track. But anyways, that information in itself is pretty huge. And I almost forgot, we had this tweet about basically a confirmation of a Starlink IPO in the future. And so this is a reply from Elon Musk right here on Twitter, and it states, "Glad SpaceX could help. We are prioritizing emergency responders and locations with no internet connectivity at all." And someone says, "Can you please go IPO with it and somehow let retail investors in early? Retail always gets the tail end of IPOs." And Elon Musk states in a reply, "We will probably IPO Starlink, but only several years in the future when revenue growth is smooth and predictable. Public market does not like erratic cash flow, haha. I'm a huge fan of small retail investors. We'll make sure they get top priority. You can hold me to it." So that tweet in itself basically confirms that later on down the line, we will get a Starlink IPO, and Elon Musk himself is making some promises here and emphasizes that he's a pretty big fan of retail investors. So of course, shout out to Elon Musk. He knows who gets it. He knows who understands the company. Ironically enough, retail investors are the people that have actually been able to understand what's going on with Tesla as a company. So yes, as Tesla investors, we factored in a lot of things early, but right now it just seems like what is inevitable. So it makes sense, in my opinion, if you're a long-term investor. So it was pretty notable in the sense that we finally got a confirmation about a Starlink IPO. If you're not familiar with what Starlink is, basically it's a project by SpaceX in which they launch internet satellites to provide internet access to rural areas or areas that just don't have a lot of access to internet. So this would actually be really beneficial for me. That's one of the huge problems with living in rural areas. And so especially if you're a content creator or someone that just simply wants to enjoy entertainment in your off time, it's hard to enjoy that when your internet is really slow and you can't even get on YouTube and watch videos, or you can't even upload videos yourself. And then also you utilize the internet for work and schoolwork and things like that. So I think this is a big problem that still needs to be tackled, and it seems that Starlink could be the solution. And I'm really excited to see the future of this project, and when it actually does IPO, I will likely be an investor of it just to support it for one thing, and also because of course they're doing great things with what they're trying to accomplish. So anyways, please make sure to smash that like button if you enjoyed this news video, and also feel free to check out Robinhood and Webull in the description below. If you sign up with my referral link, you'll get some free stocks, and especially with Webull right now, you can get one free stock valued up to $1,600, and to get that, all you have to do is use my referral link and deposit $100 into your account. Keep in mind, you can take that $100 right back out after you get your free stock, and it also helps support the channel as well, in which I'll get some free stocks. So anyways, I just wanted to let you all know about that, but I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.